Welcome to the Grim Tapes, where the shadows whisper, and the past is never truly dead. Tonight, we journey into one of America's most chilling urban legends, a tale that has haunted the streets of Chicago for nearly a century. This is the story of Resurrection Mary, the ghostly hitchhiker of Archer Avenue. A legend so persistent, so vivid, and so eerily detailed, that even hardened skeptics find themselves questioning reality. Who is Resurrection Mary? Was she a heartbroken soul caught between two worlds? A tragic victim of a fatal accident, doomed to wander the earth in her dance dress forever? Or is there something much darker, much more malevolent, behind her presence? In this extensive deep dive, we'll explore the history, the sightings, the theories, and the terrifying encounters that keep Mary's name alive. Buckle up, because this is not just a ghost story, it's a true paranormal mystery rooted in local lore, chilling testimonies, and unanswered questions. The legend begins. The legend of Resurrection Mary is centered around Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois, just southwest of Chicago. Since the 1930s, numerous people have reported picking up a young woman in a white dress on Archer Avenue. She appears lost, often silent, sometimes asking for a ride to the cemetery. Before the car reaches the gates, she vanishes, right before the driver's eyes. According to local lore, Mary was a young woman in the 1920s or 1930s who went dancing one evening at the O. Henry Ballroom, now known as the Willowbrook Ballroom. After an argument with her date, she left the venue and attempted to walk home. Tragically, she was struck and killed by a car along Archer Avenue. Her parents, devastated, buried her in Resurrection Cemetery wearing the very white dress she had worn that night. And that's where it all began. Earliest encounters. The first major sighting was in the 1930s. A man named Jerry Paulus claimed to have met a girl at a dance who called herself Mary. They danced, laughed, and even kissed. He offered her a ride home, and she asked to be dropped off at Resurrection Cemetery. When he looked back to say goodbye, she was gone. Many chalked it up to alcohol or imagination, but the story didn't fade. In fact, it spread. Over the decades, similar reports flooded in. All described a young blonde woman in a formal dress, usually silent, often cold to the touch. Some said she was real until she vanished. Others described her as translucent from the start. Drivers often reported picking her up near the same stretch of Archer Avenue. Some even crashed their cars after seeing her suddenly appear in front of them. The cemetery and the handprints. Perhaps the most chilling evidence came in the 1970s. A driver claimed Mary tried to open the cemetery gates and left scorched handprints on the iron bars. The marks remained for years and were even examined by local authorities before mysteriously disappearing after the gates were replaced. What was most disturbing about this incident wasn't just the physical evidence, but the number of witnesses who claimed to see the girl walking into the cemetery, only to vanish at the entrance. Patterns in the paranormal. What sets Resurrection Mary apart from other ghost stories is the consistency of her appearances. Most urban legends morph over time. Characters change. Locations evolve. But Mary? She's remained eerily consistent. Witnesses almost always describe the same dress, same location, same destination. This has led some researchers to suggest that Mary is a residual haunting, a spirit repeating the last moments of her life, trapped in a loop. Others believe she is an intelligent spirit, aware of her surroundings, sometimes even communicating. There's also a third theory. Mary isn't a ghost at all, but a type of psychic projection or interdimensional being, a theory gaining traction among fringe paranormal investigators. First-hand encounters. Over the years, countless personal accounts have surfaced. Let's explore a few that stand out for their detail and credibility. One involved a cab driver who picked up a girl late at night. She gave him clear directions to a house. When he arrived, she disappeared. Confused, he knocked on the door. An elderly woman answered and said, "That's impossible. My daughter died years ago." But that was her dress. Another man was driving home in a snowstorm when he saw a girl walking barefoot in the snow, arms folded tight against the cold. He picked her up. She said nothing. When they neared the cemetery, she screamed and vanished into thin air. The man never recovered emotionally. These are not isolated incidents. There are dozens of these stories, all from unrelated people. Cultural impact and media attention. The legend of Resurrection Mary has been featured in books, TV shows, documentaries, and local radio. She's become a staple of Chicago folklore. Paranormal shows like Unsolved Mysteries and Sightings have dedicated segments to her. Tour buses include Archer Avenue as a must-stop. She has inspired fiction, songs, and even urban exploration. But what makes her story unique is how it blurs the line between myth and reality. There are police reports, newspaper clippings, eyewitness accounts. And despite all the exposure, no one has been able to fully explain her. Debunking the legend. Of course, not everyone believes. Skeptics argue that the story is a mix of urban legend, psychological suggestion, and misidentification. Some say it's a ghost story fueled by alcohol, imagination, and the power of folklore. Yet even skeptics have a hard time explaining the physical evidence, the scorched gate, the consistent descriptions, and the sheer number of reports. Could it all be coincidence? Could hundreds of unrelated people fabricate the same story over decades? Paranormal investigations. Over the years, several paranormal groups have conducted investigations along Archer Avenue and Resurrection Cemetery. EMF spikes, sudden temperature drops, and EVP recordings have been captured. In one session, a medium claimed to feel overwhelming sadness and betrayal near the cemetery gates. Another group allegedly recorded the voice of a young woman whispering, "It wasn't my fault." These investigations have only deepened the mystery. Some investigators have even claimed to see Mary watching them from a distance, always just out of reach. Theories beyond the grave. So who, or what, is Resurrection Mary? Some believe she's the ghost of a real woman named Mary Bregovy, who died in a car accident in the 1930s. Others say it was a woman named Anna Norcus. Still others believe Mary is not one person, but an amalgam of several tragedies in the area. There's even speculation that she's a warning spirit, a harbinger meant to prevent drunk driving or reckless behavior. Why Mary still matters. The story of Resurrection Mary isn't just a ghost story. It's a reflection of cultural memory, of trauma, of unhealed wounds. It reminds us of the fragility of life, and the possibility that something might remain when life is suddenly taken. Mary haunts us because she could be any one of us, a person who never got to say goodbye, never got closure, never got justice. So what do you think? Is Resurrection Mary a wandering spirit caught in time? A collective hallucination? Or something we don't even have words for yet? Have you, or someone you know, ever seen a hitchhiker who vanished without a trace? Do you believe spirits can be trapped in one place for eternity? Or is the legend of Mary just a reflection of our fear of the unknown? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your theories, your beliefs, and your stories. And if you enjoyed this journey into Chicago's most haunted legend, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Grim Tapes, and click the notification bell so you never miss a tale from the other side. Because sometimes, the dead don't rest. And sometimes, they're just trying to get home.